All right, so we understand what's going on here, don't we? I feel like, okay, so typically how I read is for my clients, I read on this side here. This is default. You guys you feel free to pick the side that resonates with you the most. I'm still going to kind of read it as a slight default. So I'll let you know, I'll say if you or the other person, this is typically how I kind of go about doing this. Now, this is talking about your inner child. Definitely something happened in the past that you weren't able to quite move on from it. This is about that moving on process, that letting it go, focusing or shifting your focus onto the possibilities of the things you have remaining, right? Because not all is lost. We may lose some things, but it's not all gone. And I think the part of it has a lot to do with this. Taurus, we all know that you could be stifling those emotions. You kind of keep them locked in that vault of yours. And I feel like this is about letting those emotions flow, because the hangman is the thing that is your obstacle along with your soulmate, surrendering to the perspective. And surrendering can indicate too being just allowing things to just pass, which means allowing your emotions to flow. If I could pull a messenger oracle, I'm sure let your emotions flow would come out. But I feel like the hangman is talking about seeing something from a different perspective, seeing the relationship for something that can be, that can possibly happen, because obviously that one perspective, the thing that we may have lost is not always what we're going to face, right? Six of Cups reminds us of a time that when we were happy. That's the only time we'll ever be happy. So it means history can and will repeat itself if you let it. Now, the headspace that both of you guys are coming in with is very interesting. Somebody's very focused on their career and their work. Their heads are down and focused on the practical elements of their life. While this individual is very stressed out, very worried, and they're sleepless. They have sleepless nights. And I feel like the situation obviously has a lot to do with the stagnation in the relationship, and just like this all of a sudden pause. Like, I think there was a lot of connecting, a lot of passion, a lot of excitement, but then the stagnancy is giving this person anxiety, right? This person is just like unable to kind of like calm themselves down mentally about the stuff that's not like moving in any direction whatsoever. Now, I feel like they're putting a lot of weight on themselves as well, kind of carrying a lot of burdens right now, kind of distract themselves, but it's not helping. I think it's kind of adding to the stress, and because they have so much going on, so much that they're carrying, that is causing them to be more stressed out as well, instead of really looking at what's causing that stress in the first place, right? Now, I do feel like this person may also be burdened with responsibilities as well, and commitments, perhaps even outside themselves. I don't know if this is necessarily a codependent situation, but I do feel like this person feels like they're burdened with something. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be physical things. It could be that they've completed, they've reached the ending of a cycle, but they're still holding those wands and carrying those wands in a way that's very uncomfortable. Like they're going about something a very, very difficult way. And I feel like instead of just expressing what's going on, they're kind of trying to do everything by themselves. And it's because of this Three of Cups, lack of support. Maybe they don't feel like they feel supported. They lost that. So this is like, they don't want to lean on anyone else like that. They want to just kind of handle it all themselves. So if they do get hurt, if there's something that does happen, because the Knight of Swords, remember, it doesn't actually mean that there's really much of anything to worry about. This person is very worried because of their effort that they put in the last time they did something. But the thing is that their effort could be very successful. It could be very good. It could come out very wonderful for them, right? Based on their own point of view. But they have to kind of give it a chance. This person has had losses, They've gone through serious turmoil in a place of serious defensiveness, where they haven't given up. They have put their all into it. And I feel like because of this loss, it does give them anxiety about going back into something like that, going back into a relationship like that. Now, the reason why I'm explaining this person's story first, because typically I don't go through all the cards like I just did. I typically go and oscillate to each section, and kind of, tie the two together, weave it into a wonderful little sewing thing, like a little, I knit it together. But this time, the reason why I'm going into that is because you are literally doing the same thing. This person is like overburdened with responsibilities, but I feel like they're kind of taking on the stuff on their own. One, because they don't feel very supported. Two, because they lost that support and they feel like they just have to kind of, they're just going to end up doing it by themselves anyway, so they may as well just focus on that. But they haven't truly given up on something too. So that fight in them is also what's keeping them stressed, because they know that internally that's not true. There's something else out there that this can't always be the end game of a situation. But your situation is very similar to theirs. Because the Eight of Pentacles is very focused on work, very focused on, building something. And now this, it could be very similar in the respect of that, you both lost something and you both are different from that experience and how you approach it. But in regards to helping each other, you guys inspire one another. King of Wands, in my opinion, is extremely inspiring. And that inspiration definitely it turns it inward to yourself, right? Because the King of Wands doesn't show himself out just because he wants to hear everyone's compliments and opinions about him. He does it because he is good with himself and he doesn't care about what other people think. And that is very inspirational and indirectly inspirational, because it makes everyone else around him look within to figure out their spark, their fire, their passions, their hidden, celebrity quality in them, right? The part of them that didn't realize. And I feel like, there's this, it could be you guys or it could be the other person, right? But the Eight of Pentacles is that someone's really focused on building something. Now, for some of you guys, someone's really actually trying to make something work or try to get something to work. Not try to force it, but like they're ready to put in the effort. Like they're ready. They're seeing this as like, okay, we hitting snags, we hitting things that we need to do, but I'm willing and ready to buckle down and build that foundation with you, right? Really ready to invest my time and energy into really, investing in this relationship. Now, the Five of Wands is the turmoil. I think this person's super stubborn. I get this really strong, stubborn feeling. But I feel like this person's also very stubborn too. So this is like a good combination. Two stubborn individuals. It can seem like, oh my gosh, yeah, right, this is headbutting all over the place. But they both won't back down. Nine of Wands, the foundation for that person, they do not back down. The Queen of Pentacles, for this, for you guys or this person, we all know, Taurus, when you in it, you in it. You ain't gonna change it. You ain't gonna adjust. You're committed. But I feel like that's part of the reason why you haven't necessarily jumped into it yet. Like 100, like you're like, okay, let's do this. I feel like you're capable. I feel like that when you get started, when you say you're gonna do something, you do it. You legitimately are the foundation for everything. So you're definitely one of the reliable, very reliable in the sense of like, when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. But I feel like the Five of Wands that's the turmoil that you're facing internally too. Not just facing the other person and trying to get them to do, to work with you, but also that you're trying to overcome the Five of Cups yourself, right? You're having back the inner dialogue with yourself about what happened last time and how you're going to do it differently. And the Queen of Pentacles knows that she's very independent. She knows that she don't need anybody. She don't even need her husband to do what the things that she want to do. But the thing is that when they are together and they do the things that they do, they make a strong pairing. Now, it's not about need. It's more about, it's more about like, is it, practical to do this on your own, right? Is your reasoning for being solo practical? Not because is it because you lost something and you're afraid of losing something else? Is that what's going on? Because ultimately, right, if that's the thing that's keeping you back, you're going to run into more individuals that have, that captivate you, that really will break you out of that mindset, break you out of that sort of perspective. That's why things aren't moving now, because of course the desire to be independent is great. Yes, you should, right? Everybody should just try to be independent and confident. But if you're doing this because you don't feel like you're going to ever be in a relationship, you're not ever going to be happy and love, you're not going to have that relationship last, then you're going to get hit with someone and you're going to continue to get stagnation perhaps too, because you're not seeing that things happen in a, in a way to make us better, not to deter us from the things that we, to hold us back. The hangman is like, you're holding yourself back, and I'll show you. Right? That's pretty much how the hangman works. So very similar energies, really similar energies to me. And the reason why, the thing that brought you guys together was that passion, was that fire, was that spark, the new you, the being authentic to yourself. That energy that you found between each other was a magnetic. It was potent. It was strong. You could sense the excitement, the passion, the power in each other. That's what brought you two together. And that fearlessness that you see, is something you see in yourself. You may not think about it, you may not realize it at the moment, Taurus, but you have that fire energy that's very that's your Taurus, your earth. That's not fire, but you do have that drive. You can do things for long periods of time. It takes dedication in a certain heat to keep going, a certain flame to keep burning like that. But you both are rediscovering yourselves. You guys are new individuals here. And it's also about connecting in a way that you guys both enjoy each other's company and you both see each other's greatest potential. And I feel like the hangman is like, okay, great. How do you see, you see that for each other. How do you see yourself in moving on and perhaps even trying again with love, trying again with relationships? You know what I mean? It's like you see this potential hidden in the other person, and that's, it's great. Encourage them, inspire them. But does this person inspire you to be you, to take a chance, to take a risk, and not to give up? Because you haven't, right? I think the reason why you're even still involved with the person, or still kind of leaning towards this individual, is because a part of you still you have committed internally with this individual. You're already in it. And the distraction aspects, the distraction is to kind of get you through this, this Five of Wands, this conflict, this turmoil, especially considering that we're working with the Five of Cups. It's understandable that your conflict is that there was a loss that, hit you, that hurt really badly. And it's the same with this person here. But both of you guys are both striving to get out of it. It's just that it needs to be seen from a different perspective. Not from one that's so personal, but one that's seeing things from a bigger picture. Because we are Jupiter and Sagittarius. Seeing things from a bigger picture is much easier now than ever. So let's go and take a look at your whispers of love, Taurus, and wrap up this reading here for you guys for the next couple of weeks. Oh, wow. Rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take breaks. I agree with that. Now, the Four of Cups doesn't just always mean, shift your focus, leave that behind. But it looks like you guys are, just trying, not compensating, but like really stressed out and really working yourselves to the bone here to kind of keep yourselves from, thinking about the other thing. But, so you're not giving yourself time to see something from a different perspective. And I feel like with rest and relaxation is essential. I feel like it's talking about this here, this keep picking up extra work, picking up extra slack. That's keeping you from dealing with this. Four of Wands, Nine of Swords. It's keeping you from really seeing the perspective that you need. So you don't bog yourself down with stuff, because this person is exhausted and beat down, and that means they haven't treated their wounds. That's what that means to me. This person's got a bandage around their head and they're still standing there. That means that they only had enough time to really wrap themselves up a little bit and keep moving. So they may have a limp, they may have some broken ribs. There's some things that they need treatment for to really be expected and taken care of. And the Queen of Pentacles, she's patient. She rests when she needs to. She understands her value as much as the thing that she puts great effort into, right? She understands that value too, but she puts herself first. And the way she does, why she does that is because with something that's partially working will not work at its full capacity. So if you guys are struggling right now, it is a good thing to maybe take some time to rest, but to remember, right, this sort of rest is for you to completely honor your emotions. That's what I was kind of going with the Five of Cups. Now, it was, Five of Cups, like I said, I was going to say before, Five of Cups doesn't just mean it's time to shift your focus, but it's also talking about honor those feelings, honor those emotions, those things that you felt at the time of the loss. Fully give it all of the mourning that you can give it, and when you're done, then shift it, right? But it starts by taking a rest, and it starts by allowing yourself to mourn, right? Heal and hug your inner child right now, guys, because your baby needs you right now. Okay, your baby needs you.